So coming back from a loss is very difficult. Very difficult, but not impossible, as millions of people have done it. I've come back from quite a lot of losses in my life, and I've helped a lot of clients to do it. I've had friends that have done it, so can you do it. So I want to talk about some of the things that I've learned. I think the first thing I've learned is when you go through any type of painful loss in life, and eventually we all go through loss, that's inevitable. But the main ones that at some point we all go through the loss of a relationship that didn't work out, a heartbreak. For some people, a marriage. We lose someone dies or passes away that we love, close friend, a family member. We go through a financial loss, our business is doing really well in every way, and then it goes down and we've got no money left, or we've got bills or taxes or debt, and that's a big financial loss, and that also affects you mentally and emotionally. Then there's a loss of mental health. You can be doing great in life, happy, things are going well, and then you can have a mental breakdown. You can get depressed, you can get diagnosed with an anxiety disorder, and then your life can completely take a 360 turn and change. Then there's the loss of, you can lose a lot of weight, get in shape, but then you have a relapse and you get down or complacent and you put all the weight back on, you go back to eating an unhealthy diet. Same with addiction. You might beat drugs or alcohol and get clean and you feel great. Something happens, you struggle again and you get back into the addiction. So loss can play out in many different ways, and it affects all of us, doesn't matter how strong we are. And then there's a loss of, you can lose your home. They're just some of the common ones that happens to people, and I've helped people at different stages to deal with a lot of the things that I've mentioned. So you can lose peace of mind, you can lose friends, you can get a health challenge, a health scare. So what I've learned is when you go through a loss, obviously there's a grieving period, and it takes different times for different people. But one of the hardest things that I found is to find the motivation to come back, however that looks for you. So for example, let's say your business goes down or you lose all your money, you go broke. It's hard to find the motivation again to put all the effort in to try and make the money back and also get your business back to where it was. It's very difficult in your original perspective, which is going to be hurt, anger, resentment, disappointment, sadness, sorrow, loneliness. In that perspective, it can be impossible. And that's where you need a new motivation. And that's the same for a relationship. If you put a lot of time, your heart and soul into a relationship, and you love someone, they love you, and then it doesn't work out, they leave you, or they find someone else, or you leave them, but you don't want to do it, or you realize that you're not compatible. To motivate yourself again, to trust love again, or to look for someone, or to be open to another relationship, is going to take a different type of motivation, because the original mindset is you're not going to want to do it. It's human nature. It's a knee-jerk reaction. You're going to think, what's the point? What's the point in me going through all that again when I put so much time in, and I just ended up getting heartbroken or hurt? And that's the same for business, for relationships, same with training. I've done this, and I've had friends and clients where they put so much work in, they get in great shape, it might take them a couple of years or months, they lose weight, then they get depressed, they put all the weight back on, and they say, what's the point of me going through all that again? I was in shape when I was younger, I'm 40, 50 now, why am I going to be motivated to go back into the gym, have to start from the beginning, put all that time and energy and effort? What's the point? That conversation is going to come up, that anxiety. What's the point? Why should I do it? I did it before. I don't want to go through that again. What if I get hurt again? What if I get disappointed in any of these areas, right? Or, when you are, for example, things like any sort of disappointment. So what I've learned is you need a new motivation. You need a new perspective. You need a new purpose often, because otherwise it won't make sense to you to go out and put all that time and energy in to try and get a new relationship, whether it's in your business, whether it's with your health and your training and your fitness, or whether it's friendships, or it's a romantic partner, or it's a marriage, a long-term relationship, or it's something that you've got to start over again. And the idea of starting over breaks all of our hearts to begin with. But again, with time, with mentorship, with getting the right help and support, and talking to other people that have been through the same thing you've been through. That always helps us human beings. If someone's had a mental health breakdown and you've had one, you can connect with them because they're not going to judge you. You can have that nice connection. If someone's lost all their money in their business has gone down, then you can connect with them. There's going to be no judgment. There's a connection, and you can help one another through that common experience and connection. There's a lot of strength in that, and that can bring out new ideas, new ways of looking at things, or finding gratitude in the loss. Again, this comes in time. This comes with a new motivation, a new perspective, and sometimes we see things differently at a certain point. So always when people go for a breakup, I don't care what anyone says, we try and we don't have a good perspective. We're angry, we're resentful towards the person, we're angry at ourselves, we get insecure, we question ourselves. That's normal, that's probably necessary. But later on down the road, depending if you want to get better and you get support and help and you're searching for answers, your perspective can start to change and say, this is probably the best thing that ever happened to me because this person was never going to be right for me. And maybe over time, you don't want to hold on to hate and anger, you want to forgive, move on, but learn the lessons that you needed to learn in the relationship, the things that you did well, the things that you didn't do well, or maybe you did a lot of things well and the person wasn't given the same back. You need to learn to walk away quicker, whatever the lessons are. Both of you got to learn the lessons. If you don't learn the lessons, then you're not going to grow. Same with business. You might say at the start, it's a nightmare losing all your money. But you might go, it's the best thing that ever happened to me because I was too invested in the money, and money didn't fully make me happy, or in the business. And then you're like, right, next time, now I'm going to have a different attitude towards money and business, and I'm going to make things better or appreciate more. Can you see the change of perspective? Can you see the new motivation coming because you're looking at it different? And sometimes just accepting and go, it's gone, I can't get it back. I know it's hard for me to say this, but when we lose someone that we love, we can't get that person back, but we can appreciate them and hope that we're going to see them when we pass away, or really honor their life. And however we do that, or however we deal with that and connect with other people that have also grieved and gone through painful losses. So looking at things differently, but of course this takes time, it takes patience, and you've got to want to do it. I can't force you as a mentor, friend, or a teacher. And I think naturally people, when you're going through this, you're going to go online, you're going to search up how to deal with this grief or mental health challenge. And this is how I've gotten over things. I've had a mental health breakdown, recovered, had many failures in business, come back, many heartaches in relationships, many challenges in friendships and disappointments, and also times of being in shape, overweight, all the things most things I've mentioned, or being free from addiction, then relapsing again, and then becoming free of it. So don't give up, don't lose hope, because often when people do come back, they say it wasn't easy and I may not want to go through it again, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. My whole perspective on life's changed. I've got better relationships, or I'm a better person. So that's where we want to work to, but I'm not saying it's easy if you've just gone through a challenge, because it's easy to say the right wisdom and the right things, and someone can go, that's true, but it's not easy to apply it, and everyone is at different stages of their recovery or their comeback. But one thing I do know is you can come back, because I've done it, many have, my mentors, my clients. You probably come back in other areas of your life. So this is the main mentoring advice that I wanted to share today from my own experiences in my personal life, and from my experiences in mentoring clients over the years and helping them to navigate from a very painful place into a better place by helping them to change their perspective or see things different, find a new motivation. Now, like I've said in my other videos, you may not have heard me say it, that's where daily routine comes in. It fits into every scenario. Having a daily routine really helps you to get through difficult times, especially with loss. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, that's where my daily discipline routine was born out of and created. I had a mental health breakdown in 2017 after being really successful in my business in the early years and so happy in my life. And then I got hit with mental health, had a breakdown, and I made a full recovery and comeback. And that's where I learned a lot of I learned pretty much most of the things I'm talking about today. And people said a lot of the things that I'm saying to you today and helped me with, but it took me some time. So you've got to be patient, but you can still find gratitude in the midst of your pain and obviously what you're going through. It's really difficult for people, been difficult for me, but we can do it. Relationships are important. Spending time with people that you love, that you can trust, that you can be real and vulnerable with, you know, simple things, you know, working out, you know, getting up early, also sometimes a lot of it is taking time out to recover, let your body heal up, and then you feel ready to go out and you know, and do things that are important to you. But you will get there. It's all about you. It's all about you. No one can stop you wanting to get there and wanting to come back and accepting the things that you can't change. If there's something that I cannot get back in my life and you can't get back, then there's nothing I can do about that other than, well, there's a lot I can accept it. I can be grateful and move on and focus on things that I can build back, and, you know, move forward and use that perspective to be a better person, live a better life, and to find peace, gratitude, because at the end of the day, we're all going to lose. We're all going to pass away. We're going to lose everything. You know, eventually, you know, we lose our hair, our beauty, our age, our finances. All that is going to go over time, and maybe we'll talk about that in another video. But for now, we're talking about when we want to live the best life we can, and if you know anyone that's going through a loss, maybe share this video with them. It might really help them, because there's people that help people. You know, when you boil it down, it's all about that. So if you enjoyed this video, if you got it give you some strength and support and some hope, which I'm hoping to deliver to anyone watching this, whatever you're going through. If there's things that you're going through that I haven't named, it's still the same, it still applies, you know, because loss plays out in different ways. Losing an animal can be devastating. You know, my family, the cat just died. It's heartbreaking. That's really difficult. Obviously, you can get a new cat. It's never going to be the same as the one that you lost, but you can appreciate it. So anything that I haven't covered, don't worry, the principle's the same. But have compassion for yourself, you know, because we all go through it. You're not the only one. And people do understand what you're going through because they've been through loss in their life. So reach out for help and support that you need. Don't suffer in silence. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video today. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Jonathan. I'm a mentor and a teacher. I help people with confidence, with discipline, facing fears, lowering anxiety, changing a perspective, and, you know, living more of a, you know, a simplified, enjoyable life of gratitude each and every day. All right, I'll speak to all of you soon. Good luck.